G'day, it's Marty. We're here from Marty's Garden. Actually, we're in my backyard at the moment where I'm setting up the micro farm, and here are my worms. I've got 2 stacks here in foam boxes, and they're about to move out into the compost pile, which is pretty exciting because they've been escaping out of the bottom. We've got these 2 other farms over here. Karen walks with the camera, and they're just absolutely pumping full of worms at the moment. It's insane how many are in there, and they're breeding. They're loving these temperatures. So what I've got is a compost pile that's warm, and it's got lots of food in there and stuff. What we're going to do is we're going to release them into there, so they feed on the compost pile. So we're at the back here at the compost pile. We're about to release the worms into this area here. I've been making this bedding, and it's got everything from wood chip, it's got sugar cane, some coffee in there, some leaf mould, a bit of cow manure, even a bit of this one, the mushroom compost, and I've mixed it into this slurry as well, and that's so the bedding's nice and wet. And I'm going to put that into there, and then this box here is full of worms, and it's got holes in the bottom, and so it's going to work like a permaculture worm farm. You see there's lots of holes down here as well, and they're going to go in and out from the holes, but I'll be able to control my environment, or control my food in here for the time being. So most of the eggs, the worms will be in here, but they'll go out into this area and into this farm, and well, it's basically a compost pile, and it's decomposing. And what will happen is they want their own temperature and they want their own food, so they'll figure out where they want to be, and hopefully they'll go back to the box and in and out of the box and use this and lay eggs in it and start working through it and start breeding in it as well. So this will eventually move this way. Now it's the first time I've sort of done it like this before, but you know, I'm trying to develop it and make it better all the time. So let's keep an eye on this, and I'm going to put this worm farm in now. You can see into the hole. It's a real mixture of material here. It's light and fluffy. I don't want it packed down because I want them to move through it freely and feel like they're in still a compost environment and go where they want to go. So it's really, in fact, a permaculture underground worm farm, which I used to use pipes and bins and things, but this will work pretty much just as well. Now, I did make a layer of cardboard underneath here, and I want to pull that out now because I don't mind if the worms start escaping. So it's got to go a bit deeper yet. I want it to go up to about there. So what I can do is start burying around the sides a bit more with this material, and throw this slurry in as well. The slurry's a bit cold, so I'm going to put it around this outside of the farm here. As I said, this has got the coffee and the cow manure as well. So before I actually added this box in yesterday, we soaked this thoroughly with a hose. Being chlorinated hose, I needed to let it soak overnight for at least close to 24 hours to make sure there just wasn't any of those little nasties in there. And I want to get the pile really wet so as they move through, they'll feel happy. And I'll be throwing on coffee slurries and compost slurries and different things into this system on the edge here, because I want them to start moving this way. And they will eventually start climbing out of there and go through the holes in the bottom and move through this system. It's going to take quite some time because they really need to breed up, and if I find they're living in here successfully, I'll start adding more worms. Hey guys, if you want to follow my urban compost worm farm startup business here in Australia, then click the subscribe button. There's a little bell there and you'll get notified every time a new video comes out. And if you're into small space gardening, you're going to be able to implement lots of this stuff at home to grow better gardens and lots of fresh food.